Right?
Morning, Joe and the pro, Marco D'Angelo, wearing some weird hat and bothering me about not having a razor. I'm going to shave today. I haven't shaved in about 10 days, and when it gets to this level, all you want to do is lie on the couch and play with it. So, uh, keep the mind clean. My kids around. But I will shave today. What's up, Marco?
Just busy week, buddy. Busy week. Preakness on Saturday. We got the big package up at WagerTalk. They can get my Preakness. So you didn't know, last year, $302 wager brought back $1,159 in the Preakness last year. So we're looking to duplicate that this year, and they can get it at WagerTalk for just $39. But because they're watching us and having to, put up with 15, 20 minutes of our gracious host, which I believe somebody referred to moron. Was that correct?
Douche, moron.
Oh.
There was another one. There was a really good one. I can't remember. Whatever it is, I take it as a compliment. When sad, sorry people call me names, I think it's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's give everybody $10 if they use DQ10. That's DQ10, and it doesn't stand the DQ. I know, thinking of me, you brought Dairy Queen and 10. And I'm going to go get a Blizzard or something. No, the DQ was from the Kentucky Derby, the disqualification, and the number 10.
No, it's for Dairy Queen. And it's okay, Marco. It's okay. There are many people listening to this show that like Dairy Queen. I am not one of them.
You don't like a good Blizzard?
No. I mean, it's fine. I'll have 2 bites, but it's like if I'm going to put crap calories and garbage food into my body, it ain't going to be that. It's not about whether you like Dairy Queen. It's about whether you like other garbage food more. You have to choose what to go into this temple.
Oh, yeah. So what is your guilty pleasure? Well, go ahead. Let's share
ice cream.
Guilty pleasure.
Ice cream is my thing, but DQ is not actually ice cream. I have a friend of mine who owned 2, sold both recently. It's not ice cream.
I don't like soft serve. I'll admit that. I don't like soft serve.
I mean, if I had to choose anything in the world as far as dessert goes, I want chocolate and peanut butter ice cream.
Okay. All right. My guilty pleasure's chicken wings. That's mine.
Yeah, okay. So that was mine when I was 12.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, dude.
Chicken wings. No. Chicken wings are watching games in the bar, having some cold beverages, watching the Raptors blow a game again and not cover or something. Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah, no. And you're the one that bet the Raptors, not I. Greek salad would be right up there for me. So if both of us could just stand for a sec and demonstrate the difference between Greek salad and chicken wings, that would be helpful for all listeners.
You know what I say. Don't trust a skinny handicapper because he ain't eating well.
I ain't skinny. I'm muscular.
Oh God! Let's get into this here.
Big day today, guys. First pitch, unbelievable show today. Brian Leonard and Dave Koken. We take apart every baseball game on the board, but the more importantly, Brian and Dave talk some theory with us today on how they handicap baseball, and that's must listen to. Puck time with Carmine and Andrew. 12, 13 minutes on one game alone, plus, of course, the usual banter that some just hate, which makes me happy. And today, Morning Joe, we're going to talk about tonight's NBA game and Game 3 in Golden State. Marco, give out that code again, and let's get into the NBA.
All right, it's DQ10. DQ10, you can get $10 off that Preakness package. And that Preakness package consists of all of my plays for the Preakness, exactly how I'm betting it. You'll get my betting guide, and you'll get my top sports play on Saturday as well with that pack.
He's Marco He's Marco D'Angelo. I'm the Prez. It's Morning Joe and the Pro. You can find us at WagerTalk TV on YouTube, the #1 handicapping channel on YouTube in the world. Marco, the Raps, +6.5. The over and under is 217. And here's my take quickly on the side. I think the Raptors should have left game one feeling like they let themselves down, but feeling like they can beat this team. They led almost the entire game, and they had a very bad offensive game from Marc Gasol and a very bad offensive game from Serge Ibaka, and still they were right in it till the bitter end. They guarded Giannis well. I think the Raptors go in tonight, and I think they win this game outright at +235. I hand it to you, my friend.
No. Tear that ticket up. They're not going in and winning tonight. You know what? Everything you said, you think you could probably look at that old saying of, is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? You chose to take on the matter of the glass being half full. I'm going to say the glass is half empty. Toronto's got to come out of that game saying, we did everything that we possibly could in this game, and yet we still let it get away. And I think the people are going to look, especially after last night, in the zigzag work last night with Portland getting the money. They also blew it. And I'll tell you, I was on Portland last night, and there was a point about the 2.5-minute mark. I started to have flashbacks to the Toronto game the night before, because Golden State, when they got the lead and Portland missed on their trip down, I'm like, oh,
I need some chicken wings.
Actually, I was watching the end of no lie, I was eating chicken wings at the local bar watching the game because I did my last podcast. I finished at 7:30 Vegas time.
Do you dip the chicken wings into that dill sauce?
No, I have I had hot sauce, so that's good.
So healthy of you, Marco.
Yeah,
way to draw the line.
Yeah, I dipped my tater tots in the ranch.
Oh, thank God. Thank
God you had it. I know you were worried about it.
And you washed it down with some ice cream. So you like the Bucks tonight?
I like the Bucks, and here's the thing. You look at the game, the big problem in this series, and this is the big matchup. When Kawhi Leonard's on the floor, very good team. They can stay with Milwaukee, and they had the lead against Milwaukee. But you saw every time that Kawhi went to the bench, that's when Milwaukee made their runs. Okay.
Well, then don't send him to the bench. Like, come on.
But did you see, even with him taking breathers?
Then don't breathe.
He was out of gas in the fourth quarter.
Fill up your tank. Eat chicken wings before the game begins. That'll go well.
Yeah, that'll go well for sure. My problem is they manage Giannis's minutes much better than Kawhi Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard's a guy they babied all year. Remember, they sat him 21 times this year. That all too well. He just didn't have anything left. And the problem is he's doing it on both ends of the floor. Okay. He's carrying the team offensively, which we know that Toronto needs that scoring power from him. But the flip side, what they really need, can, kind of control the Freak Greek on the defensive end. If you're burning the candle. The Greek Freak. Yeah, that's his nickname.
You called him the Freak Greek.
Oh, I did? All right, too early in the morning. I've only had half a cup of Joe today. The thing is, Prez, if he burns the candle at both ends at 100% max, defensive end, offensive end, he is going to tire out in this series. And that is a big, big problem. I like Milwaukee in this one tonight, and I'll give you a few reasons why. First of all, last 4 games, the Toronto shooting percentage keeps going down.
It's a disaster.
They're going in the wrong direction. 48, 43, 38, last time 37% from the field. Milwaukee's defense, the last 3 games, 37, 31, 37% defense. Milwaukee is stepping it up on the defensive end, or is that just poor shooting from Toronto? Milwaukee, we know their record so far in the playoffs, 9-1 against the spread in the playoffs. Milwaukee this year, when they've been a favorite of 3.5 to 9.5, they're 26-13 against the spread, Prez. Milwaukee, when the total is 210 to 219.5, 12-3 against the spread. And then for the flip side, Toronto, they've not been a good team in revenge. How about 26-42 against the spread? I've got to go with Milwaukee here. I think we're getting the benefit of the number here. The last one closed. I got 7 on it at game time. We're sitting at 6.5, which is where the number was most of the time. Coming back, the one-day rest and being, better rested. I will say this much. At least they're in the same city for, the 3 days. That's the difference of a playoff series when it's games 1 through 4 versus games 5, 6, and 7 when you're still playing every other day, but you got to do the travel in between. So Toronto should be more rested for this one, which might lend to the under if they have a little more energy to keep it going on the defensive end. But they got to get some more help for Kawhi. Somebody else has to step up.
Hey, Kyle Lowry put up 30-something points last game.
And it still wasn't enough.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, I don't agree with your take. I don't agree with you eating chicken wings. I certainly don't agree with that ridiculous hat you're wearing. But maybe we can find some agreement on the Portland game. Portland, they're playing Golden State, Marco.
I hadn't noticed. Really?
They're -2.5. The over and under is 221. And man, I tell you, you think Toronto let a game slip away 2 nights ago. No, nothing like last night. I mean, Portland had that game in the bag. And they played outstanding. It ain't a series till you lose on home court. Portland's coming back for 2. I think they can win this game, Marco, -2.5. What's troubling for me, though, is that Golden State really hasn't played that well. They played much better the first game than the second. But Golden State, I mean, they stole game 2. If they play their best game, they're gonna cover +2.5 on Saturday. With that said, I like Portland here at -2.5.
You look at this one, Prez, and let's start with the line to begin with. Portland -2.5. What they're telling you, the last game closed at -7. Golden State -7 in Golden State. So they switch it around to -2.5 here. They're trying to tell us that they're giving Portland 4.75 points for home court advantage. No, they're not. What they're doing is they're penalizing us for the fact that they're down 0-2. And they know that everybody knows this, the angle, and this is basically the season. You go down 0-3, it's done. Everybody knows that. So if you want to play them in this game, they're making you pay a price for it. So, yeah, Portland should come home. You would think, as you said, it's not a series until the home team loses a game. But here's my problem with it. You look at the last game. Golden State has shot 50 and 51% the last 2 games. But, and as you said, Portland did everything but win the game. I don't know if they can play a better game than they played. And here's the point that I'm going to bring out. Golden State, even though they shot 50% from the field, they were only 9 of 29 from the 3-point range. Okay? That is not a typical Golden State from 3. So they didn't shoot as well there. But on the flip side, Portland shot out of their minds from 3-point range. They were 18 of 39. 18 threes they rained in that game, Prez. 46% from 3. They can't duplicate that again, in my opinion. And they still lost the game. If they take that back to, an average number, say 12 of 39, that's 18 points that we're taking off the board, from Portland. Okay, so if they make some of them as twos, it's still a big difference in points you're taking away. And Golden State makes some more threes. This really scares me. And here's the thing. If it is a game in the third quarter and Portland then suddenly falls behind by 3 or 4 points, this is one of those things where you could see like a snowball going down a hill in Toronto. You know how big that gets at the end.
Yeah, we don't have hills in Toronto, but okay.
All right. Well, I haven't been there, so I don't know. I know you have snow.
Like chicken wing sauce dripping down your torso.
Oh, okay. It picks up speed. Okay, as it hits that hill. You're just Prez, I'll tell you. Love you, man. I just think that the game could slip away from Portland. If they get on, they could end
every
game, behind.
Every team playing against Golden. We see this all year with Golden State. -9, down by 3 with 4 minutes to go, and bam, bush, bam, wham, slam, and they cover.
Absolutely.
This game scares me too, Marco. I like Portland here. I really feel like this is going to be their one win. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, everything you're saying makes total sense. I just don't think we're going to get Golden State at their best tomorrow night.
Now, I will give you 2 stats that do support the Portland side. This is a league-wide stat for the last 5 years in the NBA. If you play on a home favorite, revenging a loss where the opponent scored 100 or more points and they are off 2 or more road losses, which is where Portland is returning home, they are 90-46 against the spread the last 5 years. The other stat, Golden State this year, or I should say the last 2 years, they're just 9-21 against the spread when they're coming off back-to-back wins. This is a team, as we've seen. Now, that does include regular season, those numbers. So we know that this is a team that throughout the regular season looked like they weren't interested at different times during the season, that they were just going through the motions. You wouldn't expect that in a playoff game, but yet they are up 2-0, and they got to feel the way you talked about Toronto in the first game. They got to say, Portland gave us their best shot that they possibly could. And it's like, it would be like you getting in a fight with somebody and you have that big buff body that you think you have, and you throw your best right hook at the guy, and the guy just goes like this and looks at you. Your ass is in trouble because he's going to break you in two. And that's the way Golden State's got to feel after Portland gave them one big haymaker yesterday, and they still didn't, even take the air out of them. They came back and won the game. So that's the problem there. If you do want to look at the total, I got an impressive number here for the total. Portland, at home, the last 3 years, if they're coming off a loss of 6 points or less, they're 18-5 to the under in the next game. That bodes well for looking at a defensive effort. And if you want to talk correlated parlay, if you like Golden State, you pretty much always are going to lean to the over as well in the game. If you like Portland and you think they have a legitimate shot in this game, you got to think they have to slow the Warriors down, that they can't win in a shootout. They don't have the weapons that Golden State has. So with that said, if you're leaning Portland, and the stat I just gave you on the under with Portland would make sense. Right now, I do like Milwaukee tonight. I'm up in the air on the side tomorrow, but if I played anything on the game as of right now, I would lean to the under tomorrow night.
He's Marco D'Angelo. I'm the Prez. Use the promo code DQ10 for $10 off of some horse race that nobody's heard of. Marco, love you, bro. Be well. Everyone, make sure to watch First Pitch today and Puck Time, and we'll see you next week.
Get a razor.